Hello students, today we are going to solve one important problem in taxation under indirect taxes for CA Intermediate Group 1. The question is, Mrs. Aditi and Company, a partnership firm registered under GST, is undertaking various government projects. So here Aditi and Company is an assessee, he is registered under GST. The firm has let out on hire the following vehicles. The number 1, a motor vehicle to carry more than 15 passengers to a state government electricity department, and an electric motor vehicle to carry more than 12 passengers to local municipal corporation, and an electric motor vehicle to carry up to 12 passengers to state transport undertaking. So they have supplied 3 types of vehicles to different government departments. The one is state government electricity, and then local municipal corporation, and then state transport undertaking. Different vehicles. What are the different vehicles? One is motor vehicle, and then electric motor, and then electric motor. But the electric motor carry more than 12 passengers, and then electric motor carry up to 12 passengers, and then motor vehicle to carry more than 15 passengers. So these are the type of vehicles supplied by Aditi and Company to several government departments. The firm has provided the following additional information for the month of October. The works contract services were availed for construction of immovable property, being plant and machinery, where the value of GST component was 1,10,000. Normally under reverse charge basis, it is reverse charge basis because the contract services were availed by Aditi and Company for construction of immovable property. So under reverse charge basis, only the service receiver, that is Aditi and Company, has to file the return and pay the taxes. So he can take input tax credit where the value GST component was 1,10,000, so he can take input tax credit. Number 2, GST amounting to rupees 70,000 was paid on account of demand of the department due to fraud in returns filed. That means he has manipulated to the extent of rupees 70,000 on account of demand of the department due to fraud in returns filed. And then third, goods valuing rupees 10 lakhs, GST and the same rupees 1 lakh, were received 180 days ago. That means the Aditi and Company has received the goods 180 days before. The value of the goods received 10 lakh rupees. The GST portion on that value, that is 1 lakh rupees. The invoice also issued on the date of receipt of supply, for which payment has been made till date to an extent of rupees 4 lakhs towards value and 40,000 towards tax. That means out of the total value of 10 lakhs, he has remitted to the extent of 4 lakh rupees value he has paid, the value paid, and then on that the tax also paid to the extent of rupees 40,000. That means 6 lakhs still have to be paid and 60,000 still have to be paid towards tax. The firm made 2 independent outward supplies in which the value of supply was understated in one case. First of all, we must understand, in case of understated and overstated. In case of understated, we have to give the debit note, and then if it is overstated in the return, we have to give credit note. The firm received a certain supply of goods from the registered persons on which tax payable under reverse charge basis. As already told, under reverse charge basis, the service receiver has to pay the tax. All the amounts given above are exclusive of taxes where applicable. All transactions referred to above are intrastate. All the conditions for availing ITC have been fulfilled subject to the information given above. So this is a question, but based on this question, some questions are asked. some A part question asked, we have to go through and then we have to encircle the correct exact answer. The first question is, from the following information choose the most appropriate answer, the question number 1 to 5 given below. The question is, in respect of vehicles let out on hire by the firm, services that are exempt from GST are, we had already discussed, we came to know, that is the letting on hire of motor vehicles to state electricity department, letting on hire on electricity vehicle to municipality, local municipality, and then letting on hire on electric motor to state transport undertaking. So in this case, what they are asking, services that are exempt from GST. Normally the services that are exempt from GST in respect of letting on hire on electric vehicle, not motor vehicle, electric vehicle, but at the same time it must be supplied to the local municipality. The carrying capacity must be greater than 12 passenger. So this the correct answer. I mean, this is the correct answer. So in the answer column they have given A, B, C, D like that. So the exact answer is Roman, small Roman 2, that is letting on hire on electric vehicle to municipality greater than 12 passenger that are fully exempted from GST. So answer is B, Roman 2. And then second answer, determine the amount of eligible ITC to be claimed by the firm for the month of October. Please you can see, the question, the first question, the works contract service, the point number 1, the second paragraph. Works contract service were availed for construction of immovable property being planted machinery. So services received by Aditya and Company. But as services received by Aditya and Company, they have to file the return and they have to pay the GST component. So the GST component was rupees 1,10,000. So he can take input tax credit on that amount. So what is asked in the question, determine the eligible ITC to be claimed by the firm for the month of October. So 1,10,000 rupees, that is the correct answer. 4 answer is given. The first answer 70,000, B 1,10,000, C 1,80,000, B nil. So the exact answer is B 1,10,000. And then the question number 3, determine the amount of ITC to be added to the output tax liability. Output tax liability, that means the question number, in second paragraph, third point, goods value 10 lakhs. Out of 10 lakhs, actually the payment has been made till date 4 lakhs. So the remaining balance will be rupees 6 lakhs. The value of goods supplied. On that we have to pay tax rupees 10%. That means 60,000 rupees we have to pay. That will be the correct answer. So that determine the amount of ITC to be added to the output tax liability. Still we have to pay 60,000 rupees as tax. 4 answer is given. A 40,000, B 60,000, C 1 lakh. So the exact answer is B. Number 4. Which of the following is correct in respect of documents to be issued by the firm for understatement or overstatement of invoice value? While any assessee, in case of understatement or overstatement of invoice value, we know in case of understatement, the debit note is to be given. If it is overstatement, the credit note is to be given. Here, understatement, the GST here, the firm made 2 independent outward supplies in which the value of supply was understated in case of rupees 75,000. So for 75,000 rupees we have to give debit note and overstated for 45,000 in other case. If it is overstated, we have to give credit note. So answer should be, there are 4 answers given. Debit note is to be issued for 75,000. That is the correct answer. And then credit note is to be issued for 75,000. It is wrong. Debit note is to be issued for 45,000. It is also wrong because credit note is to be given for 45,000. So the answer is debit note is to be issued for 75,000. credit note to be issued for 45,000. So answer both, I mean first and fourth. But the answer is given like that: first and 3, second and 3, first and 4, and second and 4. So the answer should be C is the correct answer. So the debit note to be issued for 75,000, credit note is to be issued for 45,000. That is the correct answer. And the next 5. Which of the following statement is correct in respect of supply of goods received by the firm which are taxable under reverse charge? Normally under reverse charge, when the supply of goods received by the firm, I mean the payment voucher is to be issued at the time of making payment. That is a correct answer. Understand? The firm shall issue the payment voucher at the time of making payment to the supplier. That is a correct answer. The firm shall not issue invoice for the supply of goods. But here it is mentioned shall issue invoice, need not issue invoices for supply of goods. And then the firm shall issue receipt voucher. It shall not issue the receipt voucher. That is true. The firm is not required to issue any document in respect of supply. No. The firm is required to issue any document in respect of supply. So all the 3, third, 3 and 4th is a wrong answer. The first one is the correct answer. The firm shall issue a payment voucher at the time of making payment to the supplier. So answer A, that means Roman 1. That is a correct answer.